Bon voyage to Jehu Kulkrick, who's on his way to Michigan, with have another second career, if you will, in the NFL. We're definitely going to miss Jehu. He's one of a kind. He had an office at New Era Field, for crying out loud. We saw him every year. We're getting closer. We're in week 6 right now. So, I mean, so far, what has surprised you? If there's anything that surprised you, weeks 1 through 6, what jumps out at you?
I think Maryville has surprised me as far as being a disappointment. I think South Park, with its explosiveness on offense and defense, has been a surprise. Orchard Park and Lancaster, I think Jamestown is a lot stronger than I thought. But when you look at it, it's not how you start; it's how you finish, and how well you do. And all we can look is we have 24 state champions. Is there a team there that might be able to win a state champion? I think that in a couple of the leagues, they're going to have a difficult time, particularly just getting by Rochester, but that's why they play the game.
To me, the biggest surprise is Bennett, because I think that team has tons of talent. And I do think Dejai Perry is the best running back, maybe one of the best football players in the area. And I just think that team has to find a way to start playing together and play smarter and stop taking so many dumb penalties, because that team, if they play to their potential and get away from the bad habits and start getting along and playing together as a team, I think they could be very dangerous.
Bennett has won games with a lot of penalties, by 10 or more penalties. But I think that Perry, for whatever reason, whether he's hurt, he had 7 carries in one game, 11 carries in another game, 77 yards when he was getting 200 yards, 180 last year. So there's something wrong with the Tigers, and we'll see. But I don't see them lasting in the playoffs.
It'll be tough. It'll be tough for them. But that's a team that usually kind of coasts through the regular season knowing they're going to get in the playoffs, and then they turn it up. They've done that time and again. But you can't keep taking so many penalties.
They coasted when they were in C's and B's, and to a certain extent A's. They're not coasting in AA.
No. Well, until other teams start stepping it up, there's 9 teams there, 8 of them get in the playoffs. But you're not going to coast through the first round of the playoffs.
The question is, who's not going to get in the playoffs? I think it's going to be Hutch Tech.
I would.
Or Lockport.
Yeah, maybe. If I'm Bennett, though, the last team I want to see in the first round is Jamestown, down at Jamestown. And that's the way it's starting to shape up. And I think that's a bad move on their part, so they need to win some games. But that's going to do it for Week 6 of High School Football Weekly. Thank you again to our sponsors, Scroy Financial of West Seneca, Plan, Protect, Invest, A-Turf, the West Turf family of dealerships, UBMD Orthopedics, and there's plenty more. There's plenty more sponsors coming down the pike, Dick. Thank you very much. Having you on here has attracted so many great sponsors, I can't even tell you.
No, I appreciate that.
But I love doing the show with you, and I'll see you next week, and hope maybe I'll see you this weekend.
See you next week.
Yes, sir. So that'll do it for another exciting episode of High School Football Weekly. For Dick Gallagher of WGRZ High School Sports, I am Frank Wolf from WNY Athletics. Have a good week, everybody.